Welcome back to another episode of Economic Preppers. My name is Jeff. This is me. This is the got lots of stuff going around along the bottom here. See if I can remember. Is it this? It's this shoulder. There we go. There is my Twitter handle. You got stuff scrolling across the bottom of the screen right here. Let's try to point. So you get our inner circle. You have our website. We have an AMA coming up next Wednesday. You can join. You do the crypto course. You can text or call for help. But the reason I wanted to make this video is to talk to you about being prepared so you're not scared. It's something that happened to me, just happened to me today. I wanted to share and relate it to you so that you can be prepared so you're not scared, so you can always have a plan B to work things through. So here's what happened. And before I get into my story, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Really helps out the channel. But I wanted to put this video out there to let everybody know that you need to have a plan B just in case like your phone goes down. So what happened to me is that I had important calls to make like I do most every day. People were trying to call me. I'm trying to call them. And I was getting text messages. Can you call me when you get a chance? I went straight to voicemail. And it was weird. I didn't know what was going on. So, and then I was trying to make calls on my iPhone. I was trying to make calls and it said, hey, the call failed, which is weird because but I'm also on my Wi-Fi network at home. So I'm getting messages and such, and I'm able to make certain other calls, use my Wi-Fi. But fortunately, I have a plan B, which is my business phone. So I have my business phone, which is on the same account. So there is a point of failure there, but it's automated billing and all that stuff. So it's in good standing. And that phone worked. So I was able to call Xfinity. It would happen to be Xfinity is my carrier. And I called Xfinity and I said, what's going on? And after going through a couple of different hoops to get to a live person, and I'm sure you know how difficult that can be, but I went through a couple of different menus, then finally got to a real person. And please leave a comment down below if you get annoyed like I do whenever I hear that fake typing by the robot. I mean, that's just, you're wasting my time. Like, why are you doing that? Are you trying to make it sound like there's a real person there trying to help? I know there's not. And I just wish that there was some magic code just to get me to a person. Just get me to a person because I know the menus are not going to work. But anyway, I went through all the menus, got to a person. That person, after talking with him for 5 minutes and he getting me very frustrated and very confused, he was in the landline department. I'm like, who still has landlines? But anyway, he transferred me over to mobile. They told me that apparently my eSIM got corrupted. I went through their menus. I had to delete an eSIM. I had to import an eSIM through my Wi-Fi. I had to restart the phone, restart the network. And eventually he was able to call me. I was able to call him and the phone was working. Now, fortunately, while phone number one wasn't working, phone number two was. So I had a plan B. But plan C would have been get in my car, go over to an Xfinity store and have them try to figure out this problem and solve my phone problem. So the point of the story is that see your points of vulnerability. Think about what would it mean to you if your phone didn't work? If your cell phone didn't work, what would you do? Think about that. And what is your plan of action? Like, do you have a secondary phone? Do you have someone in your house that has a phone, but are you all on the same account? So if Xfinity goes down, and we've had outages before, we just had AT&T go out for I think it was one day, but that was within the last week. And then we had Google and Gmail and Instagram and TikTok and all those other Google services went down all at once on an outage. And I talked about that. Ninja talked about that. Lots of people were talking about that. Both those things happened in the last week. So think about your attack vectors, your points of vulnerability. How can you be prepared so you're not scared? So let me share my screen and I'll give you a couple of thoughts. Here we go. So here's one. This is a simple walkie-talkie. So if you have, like, just say your neighbors or a friend or close friend, so hopefully a friend that might be on a different cellular network, something to discuss, you can like ping them and just say, hey, they have let's say they have a short range radio that they keep on a certain channel. You have to talk to them about that, but they keep it when they live like a couple miles away, and you can talk to them on this radio and just make sure that works, just as a backup plan. Because if your primary phone is a mobile phone and your mobile service goes out, you have to think about what do your communications do. And if anyone's ever been in the military or talked about tactical strategies, one of the first things that is a point of vulnerability, slow down, Jeff, a point of vulnerability, and it's something that typically gets knocked out first if there's ever if there's ever ill will done by someone else, I don't want to say the word, but you get the idea, like cyber something. Okay, you get the idea. If that ever happens, okay, and they try to knock out your communications, that's one of the first things that they do. So what are you going to do if your comms goes out? So here's one right here as I point in the right direction. It's right there. This is just an example of a simple, cheap and effective. You can get a pair of walkie-talkies, give them to a close friend that lives nearby, and you can just talk to, hey, Steve, are you okay? And you're in constant contact, and hopefully you've got maybe you can get a couple of them and have more than one person, and like the 2 or 3 of you can be prepared, so you're not scared together in your local community. This is why, in Economic Preppers, we talk so much about community. Jumping over to that real quick, I just want to share, you can always go to Economic Preppers, click the inner circle, that'll open up this button, click here now. You join us for $47. Look, it's an inexpensive way to support us and what we do. And next Wednesday, we get to AMA. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about being prepared. We're going to talk about plans you can do within your community so you can be prepared and not scared. And here's one more thing I want to share with you. This is the kind of things that we share, the things that we talk about with our community, because community is so important right now. Community is paramount if communications goes down. So you've got the walkie-talkie. You can also get, and I've got one of these myself. Okay, this is just the one I was able to look up, but I've got this. This is it's a scanner, and it tells you what's going on with the weather, aviation, marine, railroad, NASCAR, police, fire, safety. So you got basically a radio that can tell you what's going on, and I think you can get them at cheaper prices around the web too. But for $100 or less, I have no skin in the game of either one of these products. Okay, this is just 2 examples of just something to think about. But communications are paramount to your safety, your well-being. Knowing what's going on is the first thing you need to know. And if you've seen certain movies that have come out recently that were very popular, knocking out communications is a big deal. And we've seen that that's a point of vulnerability for a lot of people. Everybody relies on these things now. Like, these are mobile computers. I was lucky enough to have more than one, so I was able to enact the plan using that second one. But you need to have a plan. So think about it. Think about joining us. Think about supporting us. Joining us on Wednesday. If you can't make that call, we record it. And if you're a member, we have put that up there and you can record it. And if you have a question ahead of time, you can submit that as well. We have a Telegram. We're evolving it. We're getting a lot of things out there. So lots of things are going on, but it's so important right now to be prepared so you're not scared. So this happened to me. I wanted to relate the story to you. Fortunately, I was able to resolve it. I was able to reset my phone and reset the eSIM and download a new one, and now it works, and I get voice calls in and out. But I was concerned. I'm like, what do I do if this phone is dead? Fortunately, I had my phone B, my working phone, which is the number you're seeing go across the bottom. So if you have issues, questions, concerns, text that number. I check that number. I'm getting much better at testing it and checking it regularly. I try to have it with me, and I certainly have it with me a lot more often now. But have a secondary plan. It could be a family member that's on a different plan, or maybe your sister, your brother, somebody like a friend that lives in the same town. Work out a plan, because if this thing goes out and this is your main point of contact and your main point of information, think about what happens if it's not working. So, lots said today. Please think about joining us over at the AMA, and it's a good community. We're growing quickly. We're here to help you. Lots of things said. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or concerns. Really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.